April 7th is a very special date in my family's life. And 2 years ago, I took the opportunity to speak to you about our firemen, and I'd like to do it again this evening. I did prepare a PowerPoint, but I got here 15 minutes too late, so I'll do my best. The first slide is the fireman's prayer. It's not up there. I didn't get to download it. I highlight 3 phrases: to guard my every neighbor and protect his property, if I am to lose my life, and my children and my wife. The second slide is of a park in Irvine, where my son suffered sudden cardiac death 12 years ago, April 7th. The paramedics who arrived did CPR, didn't work. Lidocaine shot in the heart, didn't work. The defibrillator did work, and Brian was taken to a local trauma center. I found out through the trauma center the identity and location of the 2 paramedics who literally saved my son's life, and I went to visit them with cookies and hugs. They weren't there, but they did send me an email photograph of the picture of the 2 of them eating the cookies and high-fiving it. The next slide is of the 2 paramedics, Jimmy and Rich, standing next to my son, Brian, and his little baby. This was 4 years after the event. The next slide is of Jimmy Owen, one of the paramedics, on top of his big truck, holding my little grandson, Kai. The 2 of them really connected. Next slide. Big title: Jimmy Overtime, bullets, collapsed and died in full cardiac arrest during routine training. Age 65, he was within weeks of retiring with 30 years of service. And third bullet had logged the equivalent of 29 years of overtime as a hazmat fireman and as a paramedic. Next slide is a full front-on shot of his truck with the mourning wreath. The following slide shows literally hundreds of fire trucks at Mariners Church, where I was with Brian that day, and thousands of firefighters. The next slide is of, remember, my children. Jimmy O's children, Jim, Junior, Daniel, and Kevin, at the podium with mournful looks on their faces. And the last slide is of Costa Mesa firefighters. They live under stress, danger, and many hours of overtime. I guarantee for my neighbor to protect his property. Please, I urge the City Council to deal with the stress of firemen's overtime. Thank you.
Thank you.